Avatar's crude oil first purchaser software enables buyers to facilitate the entire process of purchasing and tracking oil purchases. You will enjoy a reduction in paperwork and more efficient purchasing process by maintaining both operational and transportation data in one comprehensive system. Our crude oil first purchaser software has many powerful and unique features. Let's take a look at this extensive module. The Avatar400 crude oil marketing system, or oil first purchaser, was designed so users could quickly input run tickets, metered run tickets, or pre-calculated run tickets, or upload that run ticket information from code. Let's go look at the oil first purchaser system. Once you get to the maintenance menu, as you can see, there are several options that let you do maintenance type of information. Let's actually look at type pricing. Type pricing is where you can input a price, assign a type to it, and it can be used to go across multiple contracts. In this example, I've got an $87 price that is tied to type 14. So when I input actual contracts, I can tie it to this type number and not have to do that maintenance multiple times. I can actually set up severance tax exemptions, override severance tax calculations, and input contracts. So let's actually look at a contract. When I go in, it will show me all the details that is pertinent to this contract. It gives me a description, the contract date of August 1st, the expiration date of December 31st of 12, tells me who the contact name is and their phone number, who the operator, gather, and purchaser are on this contract. And in this example, I'm using contract pricing, and I'm telling it there's a 96.4265 price per barrel. I've actually told it there's some price differential. I want to add $1 to each price. I want to do transportation charges of a percentage of 10%, and I have tied this to 3 wells. I've actually tied it to the Carrier Henderson, the Snyder, and the Klein. So any entries that I input with these well numbers will actually go out to this contract and price it accordingly. So let's go input some run tickets. Also on this screen, we can see there are delivery contracts and saltwater hauling information. They have the same type screen as the purchaser contracts. So if we go back one screen, we'll actually be able to go into the processing menu, and the first option is run tickets. So we're going to input a run ticket for this one well. And so when I go in, I'm going to tell it the well number, the tank number that obviously you have set up strapping previous to this. I'm going to give it the run ticket date, I'm going to give it a ticket number, I'm going to give it a driver number if I need to track that, trucking, hauling, and load, driver date, a destination. I'm going to give it observed gravity of 46. I'm going to give it an observed temperature of, the observed gravity is 40.2, the observed temperature is 46, a BS&W of 30%. The high level gauge is 8, 4 1/4. The temperature was 48 on the high level. On the low level, I've got 2, 10 3/4 with a low temperature of 48. And once I press enter, it will actually go out, calculate the high volume, the low volume, the uncorrected volume, and give me the net removed, which would be taken over to the revenue system for input once we run our run statements. So if I press enter again, it validates this information. It is ready to be processed, and I can press F10 to post. It asks me to verify that I truly want to post it, and it is now sitting and waiting as an unpaid ticket. I can go into the unpaid ticket history, put in company 3, and I can actually see this that I just input with 183.71. I actually have another ticket with the exact same volume from December the 15th. So I'm now ready to post those, run those as run statements. Very simple process. Take option 6. You input the company number. You can leave blank for all. I want all tickets through March 31st. I'm going to run operator statements. I'm going to run these as an edit run no because I've been running the system so long that I know everything is priced accordingly, and I'm going to press enter after I enter my internal purchaser. I'm going to press enter. This information has now been taken over to revenue, where we can go in and actually run revenue checks. I'm going to go to the revenue menu. I'm going to print special checks so we only get this one well. I'm going to tell it Company 3, not by Accounting Center, for well 6100 for everything through March. I'm going to tell it that's my ICT date, the journal entry date, the check date. Those can all be different if you prefer. I do want to include release legal suspense, but not my annual. If I have any corporate minimums that have been overridden, I want to include those, and this is an edit run. A corporate minimum is where an owner has requested that even though your corporate policy is I don't write checks under $100, this one owner needs special help and wants checks that are over, say, $10. You can set those up based on owner. Therefore, you would include override corporate minimums, yes. So if I press enter, it gives me the check number that's going to create, and I can press enter again, and it will actually go and run revenue for that volume that we just brought over from Oil First Purchaser. So let's look at the reports. When we look at the reports, we're only going to look at a couple. The first one actually shows us all the revenue entries for well 6100 that's selected. It shows it by gross, by severance tax, and by marketing, and whether it is a royalty or an override. Once you go to the next report that we will view, it is actually the checks, and this would actually be the detail behind the checks. This shows us for well number 6100, this is for your January production. Here's your volume pricing, and here's their share based on their decimal 21875. This would be a check to First City National Bank. So once that revenue is input, those run tickets are input into Oil First Purchaser. It's just a simple clicking of running statements to mail out to your purchasers to bring that information over into revenue for distribution. Empower your buyers with the most innovative and easy to use oil and gas accounting software available. Contact Avatar today.